What's up guys, Connor with Guns and Stuff, and today I'm going to do a review of this Vortex Viper PST 1-4 power. What the PST stands for is Precision Shooting Tactical. This scope is made by Vortex. This is not a US made scope. This is made in the Philippines, and I think all of the other Vortex scopes and optics and red dots are made in either China, the Philippines, or Japan. So that might kind of turn you off if you're only US made or anything like that, but it's still a good optic. We're gonna go over some features and what I think about it and do some shooting with it, and we'll see what you guys think. So some features that this Vortex Viper PST 1-4 power has is it's a variable zoom optic, and that's what the 1-4 means. So you can run this optic at 1 power if you're shooting 10 yards, 20 yards, anything like that. Then once you start getting out farther, you can run it at 4 power. So say you're shooting at 300, 400, 500 yards, you can run it at 4 power and you have a 4 times magnified optic, so that's pretty nice. This has a second focal plane reticle. What that means is the reticle stays the same size regardless of the setting it's on. So the reticle, which I'll show you pictures of, the reticle itself is the same size on 1 power or 4 power. This has an illuminated or non-illuminated reticle. There's a control on that, which I'll show you here in a second. It's a single piece tube made of aircraft grade aluminum, and that pretty much makes a really strong tube. It's waterproof, fog-proof, and shock-proof, which I'll talk about that later. It has an anodized matte finish, so it's not shiny or reflective at all. It's scratch-resistant coatings on the lenses. Yeah, we'll move on from there. We'll go over some details of the reticle. I'm just going to do a quick what's in the box, and this is the box that comes in. It has the reticle on the side. I think this is everything that came with it. You guys, nice little polish rag or whatever. Some lens covers that comes with it, and there's a couple pins that came with it, and I think they were on this, so that's what that is. You get the shims, which I'll show you what those do, and then you get your adjustment tool to take that cap off of the turrets off. And then this came with the mount. I don't have the mount box, but this is for the mount to set the optic in the mount. And you get your manuals, you get a sticker which is on my safe, and then you get a nice little past inspection from whoever D2BM is. Sounds like a droid from Star Wars, but yeah, that's everything that comes in the box. The reticle on the Vortex is it's Vortex's TMCQ MOA reticle, and I couldn't tell you what the TMCQ means. It is a 1 MOA center dot, and it's a 1/2 adjustment MOA turrets, so 1 click is 1/2 MOA. At 100 yards, 1 click is 1/2 of an inch. It does illuminate, and there's a knob here. 1, and then it's off, and then it's 2, and then it's off, and it's 3, and then it's off, and it goes all the way up to 10, which is the maximum brightness. And that's cool because every click it's off and then on, so you don't have to go all the way back to between 0 and 10 for it to turn off. So I like that. The glass is fairly clear for the price of this optic. It's not as clear as Trijicon glass. The mount comes separate with the optic. I got the mount and the optic for, I believe it was like $560. The MSRP on this optic on Vortex's website is $629. On Amazon, I've seen them go for $473 and $499. And the mount is about $79 on Amazon. So it's definitely not the cheapest optic, but it could be affordable. It's not as expensive as some nice loophole glass or nice Trijicon glass, but the quality might not be up to par with that. The eye relief is about 4 inches, so that's pretty generous. The turrets have big, bold numbers, which this is one of my favorite things about this optic, is that the turrets are nice and big, they're easy to see. The clicks are very positive and tactile, like you just adjusted it, whereas like the EOTechs, I've noticed with mine that the clicks are not very positive, they almost feel kind of mushy, and that's something that this optic has over those. It has a fiber optic indicator on top, so you know where your 0 is. The cap's removed so you can find your 0 and then set it at 0. So say you're shooting at 200 yards and you have it sighted in for 25 yards. You can move the turret, take it off, and then you can set it back at 0, which I'll show you here. And it comes with some shims which fit into the middle here. And what those shims do is you can put as many shims as you want, and that way it pretty much locks your 0, so your turret won't move anymore past that 0. It's a fairly heavy optic. It weighs about 16.2 ounces, which is a little over a pound. And then the mount itself weighs 6.7 ounces. So it's fairly heavy for what you're doing. I look at it like this. If you want a non-magnified or a low-powered optic, this might, and you know you only want that, this might not be the best option for you because it has a lot of weight. Whereas like an aim point or an EOTech, where they're not magnified, they're a lot less weight than this. So pretty much you have to decide what you want. If you don't mind the extra weight and you like that 4-power zoom that you can get, this is a great optic for you. Any Vortex optic comes with an unlimited unconditional lifetime warranty. So if anything goes wrong with this, just send them an email or phone call and they'll get it all figured out for you and fix yours or send you a new one. I'm not sure. I've never had to send this into Vortex, which is good. So yeah. All right, so my personal experience with this optic is I bought it a while ago, probably over a year ago, and I bought it for my SCAR. I was running my SCAR with iron sights, and I know I wanted something, a high power, but I know I also like shooting with like the EOTechs and aim points where it's not magnified. So I ended up with this. Thought it was really heavy, even when I got it out of the box, but when I got it out of the box, it has a good feel, like when you're handling it, it just feels well built and it just feels good. When you're running it at 1 power, it's fairly quick. I mean, it feels like an EOTech or an aim point, something like non-magnified like that. It's obviously not going to be as quick. It just feels as quick for me. So something that happened to me yesterday, actually, I was trying to do a review for this, but it was like 12 degrees and my camera died and it was just way too cold. I had it outside. I had that and my SCAR. The SCAR had the Trigicon on it. This had the Vortex. Shooting outside, whatever, I'm done, I finish up, I come home, and I open my case up, and this thing is just like, there's like condensation all over it. Look down the scope, and there's like ice on the lenses, and it almost looked, I wasn't fogging up from the inside, but it definitely was fogging up from the outside. And I looked at my Trigicon, looked down the reticle, and it was fine. So, and obviously, like I said earlier, you're gonna pay like twice as much for a Trigicon, but this says it's fog proof and waterproof and all that. It is waterproof, but yesterday something definitely was going on. I have pictures of that, so that's just something I wanted to let you know. All right, so quick pros and cons list. This is just my opinion. The weight is probably the biggest con thing that takes away from it. Is just it seems heavy for what it is. The reticle isn't quite as big as I thought it would be. Before I bought it, I was looking up like pictures and all that. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I thought the reticle would be bigger. That's just what I thought. It's not a good choice for going really, really long range because it's only a 4-power and that second focal plane reticle. A couple pros that I think is the price point. You're getting a lot for the price. You can pick this up with this Vortex mount for close to $550 right now, which it might seem steep, but for what you're getting, it's a very good deal. It's an adjustable zoom, 1 to 4 power, illumination or not. So if for some reason you're shooting out at night, you have an illumination here, and then it's a pretty decent build quality for the price. All right, so that's gonna wrap up the review of the Vortex Viper PST 1 to 4. Definitely a good optic. I wouldn't say it's an amazing or fantastic optic. It has good quality glass for the price, has a lot of features for the price, but it might not be as durable and as fog proof as it says in the manual. I have not done an in-depth torture test with this, but yesterday, after I got home, there was like ice all over the lenses and it was fogging up and it was kind of crazy. So something to keep in mind. Definitely a good optic for the price. This is Connor with Guns and Stuff signing out. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.